Not because I didn't know the lyrics, because I was ad-libbing.
Burnaby, but it's really eased up as well.
You can't hide.
You can't see it, but the bottom half is shaking right now.
Just the carburetor is dirty.
Hello friends. So we are making a very special video. I felt it was important for me to impart on you some wisdom that will actually help you, things they do not teach you in school. Basically, I bought my first car, this beautiful Toyota Corolla that we are sitting in. I bought it last year, almost in a year exactly. So something I found really useful when I was doing all of my research about cars is using a tool like autoTRADER. autoTRADER.ca is a website, and it's also an app that you can download on your phone, and it has the biggest selection of new and used cars in Canada. But there's so much information on this app, it's so easy to use, and they also have reviews by car experts writing about like all of the different cars, so you can read about it before you even buy it. So thank you so much autoTRADER for sponsoring this video and partnering with me on this super necessary video. We're gonna go over all of it, and then hopefully by the end of this video you are confident enough to walk into a dealership, negotiate on your terms, get the car of your dreams. Damn it! I'm going in. Meet me outside. You're my side. I'm so lucky.
You ready?
I'm so lucky. Okay, the first thing, before you even think about what kind of car you want, what kind of color, even if it's like new or used, you have to figure out if you want to own or lease a car. Two very different things. So leasing basically is like renting. You are renting on a short-term fixed lease. That usually is anywhere from like 2 years to 4 years, and you're paying every single month for the depreciation of the car. So depreciation, all it means is like you've been driving it around, so the value of it obviously has gone down by the time you're going to return it to the car dealership at the end of your lease, and they figure out how much you're paying every single month by how much it depreciates. Are we following? Yes? Cool. The cost of your monthly payments is usually lower than owning, but it does add up over time. Like say you're leasing cars for 20 years, over time that's gonna add up to be way more than if you had just financed it. Financing and owning, obviously you own the car, so if you can pay straight up, just like cash, here you go, full cost, you just leave with the car. But what most people do is they finance, so it's same thing, monthly installments, except at the end of it, usually it's a longer term, so like instead of 2 to 4, it's like 6 to 7 is usually how long it is. At the end of it, the car is yours, like that's it. It's such a long intro.
Oh, wait for it, wait for the drop, man.
The song is a bop. Next is new versus used.
Ooh.
So both of us have used cars. A new car obviously is not going to have any previous owners. A used car will. With that being said, you should ask how many previous owners there were. It's good to know. It's like, it's not really gonna make a break. Like, I mean, 6 previous owners is maybe a red flag. New cars are obviously more expensive. We got so caught up talking about used cars that we totally forgot to talk about the perks of new cars, but there are a lot. You have no previous owner. You're the first person to own it. It has the newest technology, and it also has the best safety features. So obviously, like, the safest car that you could possibly buy would be a new one. Okay, back to the video.
Yeah, I think mostly a concern is just to know what the maintenance was like. And then when it's not the first owner, then you can't ask like the first owner
how they maintained it, like yeah, like where they took it. You want to buy a car that you know was well maintained.
Exactly.
Yeah. Even if I could, I wouldn't turn on you.
Hey.
All I see is you. Oh baby. Oh, is that ad-lib? Not because I didn't know the lyrics, because I was ad-libbing. So we are in the X-Type. This is Jaguar X-Type. This is Daeon's car. Well, I guess you have 2 cars. You will meet the other one later. So the next thing that you should know is mileage and year. So we're not talking about gas mileage. We're talking about what year is this car, and then how much has somebody been driving this around. Obviously, a new car is going to have very little to no mileage, whereas when you're buying a used car, then you definitely want to check out the mileage. Lower is better, but there's no magic number, so you really have to take into account the make, model, the year, and then the mileage from there. But yeah, when you see like on autoTRADER where it says great price or fair price, and then also when you are on the website or app, then you can also filter for mileage. So like for me, for instance, I didn't want a car that was over 100,000 kilometers, and so you can filter like your maximum or your minimum.
Yeah. Like if a car's like at 200,000 kilometers, it gets really risky. It's like a concern because of repairs and parts and things like that. Little more about me, but you are sunny every time you need company. Falling, 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 falling. Pretty sunny one, get a name, get a name.
So for gas mileage, you guys have probably heard that like Toyotas, Hondas, cars like that have really great gas mileage. And that basically means that when you fill up, that car will take you a lot further than say a car like a Hummer is notoriously known for having very bad gas mileage. So that means that you're spending a lot more money on gas because it's not going to take you as far. And then you also have to think about like, I just get the cheapest grade gas because that's all my car needs. And he gets the
so there's
premium,
there's certain cars
one.
that need like unleaded, like premium gas, and that goes for most luxury cars. It's just because like the way it burns it.
When I was buying my first car, I was like, oh, like I want a Jag, like oh BMW, and then like
she
my
was
dad
looking at like a V12 engine.
I was because like I didn't know. I was just like, oh, like this car looks like it's cute. That's all I cared about, and I cared about like the color. I was also looking at cars that were not automatic. They were manual. Okay, guys, like when you're learning how to drive a car, you're probably learning automatic. You know, it's not stick shift, that's manual. So check that too. That's the transmission. But if you know that it's not in your budget to spend that much money on gas or on repairs, like then definitely take that into account because it will add up. So make sure that you do your research. Like I said, autoTRADER.ca has all these reviews, and it's really important to read up on it because do not like go and buy a sports car if you have no idea anything about a sports car. Do not buy an automatic car, or sorry, a manual car if you only know how to drive automatic. Crushed it.
Maybe if you give it like a running start. It's just the carburetor is dirty.
I know it's not too bad out there. It's really eased up. Still a few delays southbound to the Massey Tunnel from around Blundell. We have just a few remnant delays. Highway 1 eastbound through Vancouver and into Burnaby.
Next tip is the value of your car. So we are in Dan's very adorable cult classic that will not start at this given moment. It is not dead. This just happens because we haven't started this car in a very long time.
Yeah, when you don't drive it for a while.
Yeah, because it's his summer car. So obviously no one ever wants to pay more than they have to. Like in my specific case, I bought my car off of one of Dan's family members, and so they just kind of gave me their price. From there, like obviously it's like a little bit hard because it's like someone you know and it's like your family member, but I wanted to know like, are they overpricing it, or like am I getting a good deal? So what I did is I went online and then I looked up my Toyota, or that Toyota that I was gonna buy, and then the Corolla, the year, in my area. If on average it's cheaper somewhere else, then that's not really helpful because you're not going to go drive to like another state or like another country to buy that car. So it's important to know in your area, how does it compare to other cars. So yeah, on autoTRADER it'll tell you if it's a great price, fair price, and like that was really helpful for me. So even if you're not going to buy your car like through the app and like through a dealership, and you already have someone that you know that's going to sell you their car, definitely look it up because you might trust this person, but you definitely don't want to overpay for a car.
Value is very important. You want to make sure you get a good price, but also, how does this car make you feel? Where is it really valued in your heart? So this one, I mean, even if I couldn't lower it to $2,500, I probably would have still bought it because I love this car and it's amazing. And that's where the real value is. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. Tell me more, I got a box, got with your name.
So the next thing is knowing the status of your car, and it's really important because if your car's been rebuilt, that means that it got into an accident and that person, the owner, took it to a mechanic or car shop and then they rebuilt it, or they like fixed it. So
or it could also be bought by a mechanic, from a lot of cars that are totaled and then
rebuild it.
Rebuild it from
You should definitely ask, and if the person that you're asking doesn't know, then look at the frame, see if there's any weird dents, and then you can also get a car history report from Carfax, and then you can do that through autoTRADER.ca. So yeah, it's
and that's
definitely
what I did with the Jaguar. So with that one, I have like all the history. So Carfax.
From Carfax?
Yeah, so it shows that it's clean, and then I also got like paperwork that like shows like when it's all the maintenance that has been done to it.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's important too. Like ask, not only has it been rebuilt or if it got in an accident, but where they serviced it is also important, if they serviced it at all. Some people don't maintain their cars very well. I am kind of guilty of that. I have stuff I need to work on with my car. Oh, kitty!
I feel like rebuilt cars will never actually really be the same, because like you'll feel that more issues will arise. Usually if like, let's say it's like a totaled car and then they like swap out the engine for something else.
I mean, it's the same with like your phone, you know, like if you were to have your original like iPhone and then get like the battery replaced and all these things replaced, and eventually it's like not everything is usually the same quality as it was when it started.
Very true, my love.
We are picking up Tyson now, and Tyson works at a Lexus dealership, so he's gonna share with us a couple of little tips and tricks.
Cold, I know they come and go. La 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 la. This is stuck on froze. Places that I can go.
So this is our friend Tyson.
You can make an appointment. That would be the easiest way. And they're a little bit more invested, especially if you're like a youth like us. Before you go in, anytime you go look at any auto group or any dealership, they'll always have like the different sales rep listed. And make an appointment. When you do, they're more than likely to give you a deal because they know you're serious.
The reason why we're also not in his car is because his is in the shop. He recently just imported. He recently just imported a car from Japan.
And 1994 Unos Cosmo.
The
little rotary Dorito engine, and it blew up on me.
Literally a little Dorito.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yes, $6,000 bill is not cute. I wish I had autoTRADER advice right now telling me, damn, don't buy Doritos if you want a car. Ain't no Carfax.
Yeah, ain't nothing,
No, I didn't have any Carfax. That's something I wish I had. Source out your dealer. Go on autoTRADER, and there's like a function actually within autoTRADER. If you use the postal code function, if you look, I can look in Vancouver, I can look in White Rock, I can look in Burnaby. So the same Toyota Corolla I buy in downtown Vancouver might be $14,000. In Nanaimo or Chilliwack, that same Corolla could be a whole like $2,000-$3,000 less. Yeah. And the dealership will go off that autoTRADER rating.
Yeah.
Or they'll give it to you cheaper just based on that area and what that area is selling. So if that area is selling much more Toyota Tundras or different trucks, or they're selling like luxury cars, whatever the area is, whatever they're not selling, they'll give it away basically. So you can pick it up really cheap. That's like a really good function.
Yeah.
Have a look at the stock that's been there for a while. Don't buy right away, and make them an offer. If you're buying a new car, buy it at the end of the year. By the time summer rolls around, like June, the 2020s are going to start coming into the dealership, and they have to get rid of the 2019s.
Gotcha.
And they're going to offer that way cheaper, even though the cars have 0 kilometers on them.
So new year, don't buy a new car yet.
New year, new car is just a nah.
Just no.
New year, new car, new debt. But
I'm above average. I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Bad companies, bad for your company. You can't hide, baby. Put 100 in my pocket and 100 on the rims. That's on and some gas for the trip.
Last thing that you should consider when you're buying a new car is all the perks. So this is like the fun stuff. What color is it? You know, like, does it have Bluetooth? Are you auxing? Are you
is it a convertible?
Yeah, is it a convertible? Like, so, or like my car has a sunroof, which I didn't really care for, but it's actually really, really, really nice. I also didn't consider that I have an aux cord, but that, like, his car only has a CD player. So that really changes how you're listening to your music.
Yeah, burning CDs is rough, man. Especially because all the new computers
they don't have
the slot.
Especially in 2019.
And new cars have a lot of like new features. My idea of car technology was very limited.
Man, some of them got Wi-Fi. They drive themselves. Yeah. They can park themselves.
The new Tesla's got summon mode.
What is summon mode?
What is summon mode? It ain't come out yet, but in another couple months. You can summon it. Yeah, if you're like 100 or 200 meters away, you press a button.
Crushed it.
So that's all the tips that we have. I hope that this was insightful, helpful. Now you can feel confident when you're walking to a dealership looking for your car online. Make sure you do your research. That is the most important thing. And yeah, even if you're not gonna buy your car through AutoTrader, like through the app or website, you can definitely still use it. Like you was saying earlier, you can search other cars in your area, find out the value. So make sure that you follow us on IG. Mine is Your Girl Neens.
Day on, day off.
Snacks the rapper.
That's such a good IG name. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I love you. Have a beautiful day. Ew.